Hey everyone, and welcome to the Not So Pro-ducer Podcast. I'm your host, Insko. This is episode 1. This is the pilot episode, so things are going to be a little bit weird and a bit strange. I've never really done a proper podcast before. But the Not So Pro-ducer Podcast is a fortnightly show where I sit down with a guest, have a chat about music, interview them a little bit, see what they do. And for this first episode, I got my good friend Fleming on the show. I've known him for a few years now. We go to the same university and we went to the same college. He makes his own music as well. But anyway, I'll let him introduce himself and let's get into this first episode.
The Not So Pro-ducer Podcast.
Hello, I'm Anthony Fleming. I am 21 years old from Kent and I mainly produce music.
Right, so Ant has basically done a bunch of stuff for me recently. Like, it's helped out schedule stuff for this podcast. I think you've done a little bit of video editing stuff, but just in general, just like organizing stuff. He has access to my YouTube so that he can see all my YouTube stuff.
It's really interesting looking through all your YouTube analytics. I can't lie.
Yeah, I think you find it more interesting than I do. I'm just kind of like, okay, this is mad, but anyway, and then I kind of get on with my day. Whereas you're like, oh, they're from this country. And they watch these videos and they came from these tags. And I'm like, okay, well, at least you know. Obviously, the podcast doesn't know you. I know you from college and uni. But do you want to, like, say a little bit about yourself? What do you do? What do you want to do? How do we know each other?
Well, I mean, we know each other from college and uni.
Well, yeah. I mean, were you in all 3 college years? I think you were, right?
Yeah, I've done level 2 and then level 3.
Yeah, both the years in level 3. Now we go to the same uni, but the uni he's in a year above me because I didn't do uni last year. So it's kind of like he knows everything I'm doing this year. So it's like, oh, I need help on an assignment. You're always going to be that year ahead. I can always be like, so what did you do last year?
Basically use me.
I'm just going to use you. Let's be real.
You were against going to uni, weren't you?
I was against going to uni for a while just because I didn't enjoy college that much. It was like, we both done music at college, just to clarify that. And we're both doing music at uni as well. But it's like with college, for me at least, it felt very much like this is how to set up microphones, this is how to do all that kind of stuff. Whereas I wanted to do more learning how to make music, learning how to promote my music, kind of grow a brand, not necessarily setting up microphones for bands. That just like, yeah, I guess it's music related, but it wasn't the route I wanted to go down. So with uni, I was a bit skeptical of that because I was like, I don't want to sign myself up for like another 3 years of education if it isn't something that I really want to do, especially because you have to pay for uni as well. I was a bit skeptical of it, but I think the fact that you took that step to do it last year and I didn't, and I took the year off, I now know what it was like because obviously you told me, and then that made me feel more like, okay, this is what I actually want to do because you're like the insider guy. I kind of like know it from you.
You're saying about setting up microphones for live and everything.
Oh yeah, no, I know I have to do it. I know I have to do it in the second term, I think.
I think that's more studio based.
That's okay. I don't mind that as much.
Yeah, but I know when you choose your modules for next year, you might, you know.
I'm not choosing live. I'm not choosing it. I'm just not going to choose it. I don't like it. It just doesn't interest me.
I don't know whether or not if it's like you either have to do a performance, which is like in front of an audience with like DJ decks or whatever, if that's what you want to do, or if it's live sound.
I wouldn't mind doing that. What's your intentions in terms of music? So obviously I produce music. Most people know that. I want to produce music for a living, hopefully, along with DJing as well. That'd be pretty cool. What's your intentions? Like, what do you want to get out of uni?
I don't know if I've ever told you.
I don't think you have, which is why I asked.
I think you know that I like mixing and mastering.
Yeah.
But recently, I have been thinking about making music for media. So like film trailers or even game audio.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that industry is popping off right now. I don't know if I can swear on this.
Yeah, you can swear on here. You can swear on it. It's fine. It's more of a casual conversation.
Whatever comes that's media-wise, then I'll be happy.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's more like scoring stuff, I guess. Is that what you call it?
Kind of, I guess. I mean, when I hear the word scoring, I just think of a score sheet.
Yeah, I think that too, to be fair.
I'd rather just say making music.
Have you, like, got any experience with that so far, or is it just something that you kind of thought of and was like, that sounds fun?
I mean, this only came recently, so I ain't done nothing.
Well, I mean, obviously, like you said, you've done mixing and mastering stuff. as well, which you do have experience on because you mastered my song Not Okay, which when this podcast goes out, Not Okay came out on the 29th of October. We're recording this podcast on the 24th of October, and this podcast is coming out in January. Like, we're planning this podcast ahead of time just so we can keep it up and everything. Okay, right, another question, because I've got so many questions for you.
Great.
What made you, like, start doing stuff in music?
God, it feels like years ago. Well, I guess it was years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, true.
To be honest, I don't actually remember what got me into it. Oh, yes, I do. Do you remember the a little launch pad?
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch videos. I don't know if you know him, M4 Sonic. Do you remember that name?
No, I don't recognise it.
Oh, right. Well, he's like the first person I saw on YouTube with a launch pad, and he would like press all these buttons to make a song. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I went and got myself a launch pad.
That's quite funny because I used to, when I was younger, for whatever reason, I was like, right, everything I do in my life, I'm going to put it on Facebook. So now all that stuff is still on there. And obviously Facebook has the memories thing where you can like see what you posted on that day or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I posted a photo of a launch pad and was like, so want one of these, because I used to watch people make songs with the launchpad stuff, like you said. I think it's more like Skrillex mashups and stuff, because I was like really into kind of dubstep in like 2013, and that was kind of the first EDM stuff I liked. So I always thought like, oh, it'd be so cool to like push all these buttons and make songs, and I always wanted one, but I never got one.
Oh.
And I went more down the route of I'm going to download Audacity and download songs and mash them up in Audacity, and that's what I did first.
Yeah, I got a launchpad and started practicing on like doing the covers like everyone done on YouTube.
Didn't you win a launchpad as well?
I did win a launchpad, but that was like one of the newer versions.
Yeah, because I remember you in college, you had a launchpad, and I swear I remember hearing that you won it.
Yeah.
Was that what was the contest for that? How did that come about?
It was Splice. I won it on Splice. I think everyone should know what Splice is.
Yeah, everyone should know what Splice is if they're watching this.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Splice is, it's a sample pack company. It's like a monthly subscription where you can basically download like millions of samples or a library from millions of samples. But anyway, they do like remix contests, or they did do remix contests. They don't really do them anymore.
The last remix, well, not remix, but the last contest that they done is the one that I won the launchpad on.
That's quite funny. You got pretty lucky there then.
I know. I was so gassed when I won it. I remember being upstairs in my room, and this is when I had my little gaming laptop.
Yeah.
I went on my little laptop on my emails, and I saw it come through as like an email just saying you are the grand prize winner. And I ran downstairs to my mum. I was like, Mum, I'm grand prize winner. She couldn't care less, just saying. Just like, oh, well done.
So like you said, your, I guess, musical intentions are to do the scoring stuff. Isn't there actually the floor above music in the music block at uni? Isn't there game design people up there?
I think so.
Why don't you just go in there and be like, does anyone want some music?
Well, that's the thing. Next semester, that's when I'm doing my media module. So basically making music with all the media people.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know whether they actually like incorporated the media people into it.
I don't actually know, but I know Panos. He said that he's going to try and see if we can like collab, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I don't think it's just like game design. I think it's just a media thing in general.
Oh, okay, I always thought it was a game one. I haven't been there long though, so hey. So you've been putting out some remixes as well, right? You haven't really done anything original.
Thanks.
No. I mean, I didn't mean I didn't mean it like that. I meant like you haven't really released any original like songs, in not remixes.
No.
I mean, what do you have on your Spotify?
I don't think I have anything on my Spotify now. I think I took it all down.
Is it just the remix that you did of Big World?
I think so.
You need to start posting stuff. Well, I mean, I say that, but if it's not really your intention or it's something that you enjoy and you want to do more of that kind of mixing, mastering, game, music thing, then just go down that route. But I think at the moment, from what I know, you seem to enjoy just being like, oh, I'm going to download these remix stems and just mess about with it or whatever.
I mean, it's always nice to actually make something original there.
Yeah, definitely.
Or just post anything in general.
Okay, well, how about this then? This is an interesting thing to think about. So you put out an original song and you're like, right, I'm going to release this song. You have no like promotion planning or anything. It releases, you wake up the next day, it's got 10 million streams, it's blown up. What are you doing? What's your reaction? Is your mindset going to change? Are you going to be like, oh, I no longer want to do stuff for games or whatever?
I'm waiting for this paycheck to come through.
Okay, so you're just doing it for the money, right? Yeah, okay, right, cool.
Well, my initial thought would be like, I wouldn't be getting that many views anyway, so... But if that was the case, I don't know. I'd just be like, I guess people do fucking like this type of music. I guess I'll just keep making more of it.
Yeah, fair enough. But what if it's like... Because I feel like with electronic stuff, you can release music. DJing is also kind of like, not a necessity, but it's something that kind of comes with it. Like, what if you got emails from, like, some venues or some, like, bigger artists, maybe of the similar style of music, saying, like, oh, I want you to open for me on these shows or whatever. Like, what are you saying then?
I haven't got experience in DJing, so I guess I'll just make a... What's it called? It's like when you make the set on, like, Ableton or something.
Oh, so you just be one of them. You just got that.
Yeah.
Start. Wait, look at my amazing mixing skills, guys.
When you pretend to DJ. I mean, in all fairness, I do know what everything does. I'm just really bad at DJing.
When was the last time you properly DJ'd?
Well, the last time I had my decks. 2 years ago?
Oh, damn. Okay, so it's been a little while.
Well, I mean, I say that, but that's the last time I've seen my decks. I think the last time I actually touched my decks, 4 years?
So it's been a very long time. I don't DJ as much as I want to. I have decks. I don't have them set up. They're currently down the side of my bed. But I do want to DJ more, and I want to do some more like DJ stuff on my YouTube channel and that. It's just like every time I go to DJ, which is like once maybe every 3 months or something, it's like, oh, I got to download more music because all this music is no longer relevant, or I don't really listen to this music anymore or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into sets beforehand. When people think it's just a space bar that you press. Nope.
Oh, don't even. One of the tutors that I had a couple of weeks ago, I think it's for my culture lesson, he was like, oh yeah, you know DJs, ain't it funny how they just like turn up to a festival and it's just like they plug in like their iPod and then they just press play and then that's it, and then it's like, wow, they get money. I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely what they do, mate. 100%. I mean, yes, you do get some people who, you know, it might do a cheeky little, well, I'm going to make this in Ableton, like you said. Yeah. But I think the majority of people do actually put some sort of effort into it. They might do a few things that make them look cool, like when they kind of pretend to be mixing stuff or whatever when they're just standing there waiting for the song to finish. But I think for the most part, it is actually like mixing and stuff.
I couldn't imagine myself doing it, to be honest. Even if I did become like some mad top producer.
I mean, that's fair enough. I've always said to myself, I want to make music and DJ for a living. But to be completely honest, I have no idea what I would be like on a stage in front of even 100 people.
You would have a panic attack.
I probably would. I was meant to do a DJ set in 2020 in Germany before COVID hit and everything.
I remember you saying something about that.
It was with the record label I was with, and I think I was meant to just kind of cover for someone else who was on the label. I think they were meant to DJ at some club, but then they had to DJ somewhere else on that day and it was more important or whatever. So they basically said, hey, could you cover at this club? And I was like, sure. I had no idea what the club was or anything. No idea the style of music, but I was like, I'm down, because I was like, right, I need to take this step, because if this is what I want to do, I just have to dive headfirst into this.
Take the leap of faith.
Exactly, yeah. But then it just never happened because obviously the whole COVID thing. It's kind of mad to think that like if that did happen, I would actually know whether it's for me or not.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but you know, it could have just been a terrible experience, and then maybe the next time around, whenever that would be, it might be a little bit different.
I can just imagine you walking out, getting ready to set up, and you just have a panic attack and like fall to the floor and just like,
yeah.
Wow.
I feel like it's a nice thing to think about, but yeah, damn. I mean, I went to the cinema last week. I think I told you this, and I saw like 200 people in the cinema, and I was like, damn, that's actually quite a lot of people. Like when you're looking at 200 people, you're in the same room as 200 people, you're like, that's a lot of people. And like at the moment, at the time of recording this, I have like 1.1k subs on YouTube. And it's like, if I stood in front of 1,100 people, I think I would want to leave because of how overwhelming it would be. Like all of these people just staring at you.
It'll be different though, because they're there for you.
I mean, yeah, it would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'd be overwhelmed in a good way because it'd be like they're there for me. I think with me and the way that I think at the moment, if I was DJing in front of that many people, I think it would be, oh, what if I mess up? Or, oh, what if they don't like this song? Or, oh, they're not reacting very well to this and all this stuff. And it would just be all negative things until I got off the stage and I watched some sort of video back and saw that everything was okay or everything wasn't okay. And if it wasn't okay, I'd never go back on the stage again. But yeah, it's something that I want to do for now. Whether or not I want to do it in 10 years' time, we will see, but I need to have some sort of experience to know 100% if I want to do it or not.
Yeah. Saying that, surely if you become big, right, and say, obviously, if you're big enough, you could, like, in your case, collab with Elenium on a song.
Yeah.
Surely you could just be like, could you teach me how to DJ?
I mean,
Use some decks.
Yeah, true, I guess.
Or you would have just a lot of money anyway to get, like, lessons on it.
Yeah, true. It's one of those things. It's just practice. Practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
But I think even big DJs mess up.
Yeah, but they just play it off like it was
It was intentional.
meant to happen.
I saw some
okay.
TikTok the other day of some house DJ, and he was mixing. He's like some mad DJ, so he doesn't even just do like play this, mix that into that. He like plays with the faders to like make it sound choppy with the vocal, and like plays the vocal over another instrumental and all this stuff, like proper DJing. And he missed a drop on one of these songs, but he just waited for like 3 metronome clicks and then hit the play button on a different song, and it worked. and it was like he saved it, and there were so many people in the comments who were like, this actually sounds better. Like, I think you've just created a new trend here. People are just going to do this from now on.
That's the thing. Play it off like it's meant to happen.
Right, okay, as you said about my dream collab being Elenium, which you're right, by the way, what would your dream collab be? Like, if you could collaborate with any other music producer or singer or whatever, who would it be? One person as well. You got to choose one person. Or if it's a group, then obviously that counts too.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Is it too difficult?
I don't really like the songs I listen to. Are old songs like Oasis and, I don't know, Bon Jovi, all that type of music.
Right, okay.
I got bored of the modern pop music and stuff now. The only name that came to mind is someone who's sadly passed away, and I think you could probably guess who that person is.
Avicii?
Exactly.
Right, Avicii is so good. Still is so good. His music's so good.
Yeah. Who would I, in this day and age, I don't listen to anyone.
Do you just kind of like certain songs by certain artists, really?
Yeah, pretty much. You know what? I'm going to look through my Spotify. Oh, you know what? Dimension.
Yeah, you do mention Dimension a lot. But then again, you don't make drum and bass, so how would that collab work?
Yeah, I know. I used to be into drum and bass.
What, like heavily into drum and bass?
Yes.
What, you would like only listen to drum and bass?
I would only listen to drum and bass at one point in my life. I think the only person that would make sense for me to collab with is Medusa. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know. Medusa? I don't know.
Medusa? But you know who I'm going on about, right?
Yeah. I can't remember the names of the songs that he made, but it's like playing in my head. I know.
Piece of Your Heart.
That's the one. That's what I'm thinking of.
Which I remember in college when that song came out, and you said they literally copied and pasted.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Piece of Your Heart.
That actually... That pissed me off. I was like, are you actually taking the piss? You're like, oh, this song blew up. Let me just copy, paste. Has anyone got a vocalist? Anyone? You? Okay, right, get on this. I'm certain it's in the same key as well. I'm sure it is.
It probably is.
I mean, if it isn't, then hey, at least they've done something. No hate towards them, because now they're spicing it up a bit. But that, to me, just seems such a money grab. Like, my song became popular, I'm going to make it again.
I'm gonna tell you right now that both songs are in the same key.
They aren't in the same key?
No, they are.
They are? Oh, okay, well, there you go.
E flat minor.
Just for clarification, what are the 2 songs again? Just in case anyone wants to hear them.
Piece of Your Heart and Lose Control.
If you listen to both of those songs by Medusa or Medusa, I don't know how to say it. If you listen to those back to back, they sound like the same song. What's your favourite genre of music right now? Like, what is your go-to genre of music?
I would say drum and bass.
Well, at the moment,
I guess whenever I walk to uni, if I listen to Spotify while I'm playing FIFA, it's Dimension. It's just his album.
So he's probably like your favourite artist at the moment.
I would say so.
Okay, another question on the list. Do you play any instruments?
No.
Not any at all?
I know how to work around a piano, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's an instrument.
Yeah, but I can't really play it. If you told me to play the piano, I can play the intro to the Commodores, the Easy Like Sunday Morning.
Oh yeah, from the video on my YouTube channel where we went to the mastering studio and you played it, and I just said, Easy Like Sunday Morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can't play any instruments, if you could play one instrument, any instrument of your choice, like you just suddenly know how to play it like really well, and it can also be vocals, that counts too, what would it be?
I was gonna say, if I have to learn it, then I wouldn't, because my favourite instrument is a saxophone.
Oh really?
But if I had to learn it, then I wouldn't, because I would get annoyed with it, I'll get pissed off about it, and I would never like it again. But if I just know it just like that, how to play it,
yeah,
it'll be a saxophone.
How comes the saxophone is your favourite? What do you like about it?
I don't know. I just fucking love it. I can't tell you why.
What songs do you listen to that has a saxophone in it?
There was one song actually, but I can't remember. But like if I'm on, I don't know, I'm in the deep end of YouTube and I'll get these little saxophone covers, I'll just listen to them and I'll just think they're sick.
Yeah, fair enough. I used to look up a lot of like piano covers for songs that I like, just because the piano covers are very like laid back, I guess, in a sense. They're like, it's a proper stripped back thing to just be like piano cover. Same with like acoustic guitars.
I do like an acoustic.
Yeah, same.
What's that song with Martin Luther King? You know the speech that he done, I Have a Dream?
I know what one you're on about, but I have no idea what it's called.
There you go. One Day.
One
Baker
Day.
Matt.
By who?
Baker Matt? Is that how you say his name? I think he must be like German or something.
I've heard it. I have heard it.
Yeah, it's got a saxophone in it. Or a trumpet or something. I don't know. It's a brass instrument.
If it's not a saxophone, that's quite funny. Because you're like, oh, I love saxophone, and it just turns out to be a trumpet. This
is the first song that I thought of that had something, either a saxophone or a brass instrument.
There was some song that I used to like, and I can't remember. I think it was called Midnight, or it was by someone called Midnight, and it had saxophone in it, and it was very like synthwave almost. It was kind of like that 80s kind of electronic stuff, and it had saxophone in it, and it was like a really good vibe song, and I have no idea how I found it at all. But I remember a couple of years ago, I used to really like it.
You know what is a good song that's like from the 80s or something? Easy Lover by Phil Collins.
Oh, I've heard that song. Yeah, that's a good song.
With the guitar solo. Oh.
To answer the question about if you could play any instrument, for me, I would either say guitar, just because I think in terms of my music, every song I'm working on, especially at the moment, is guitar based. Like there's a lot of guitar in it.
It'll be beneficial.
It would be very beneficial, which is why I should probably put more effort into learning it. But at the same time, I also think being able to sing would be really nice, because honestly, the amount of voice notes I have on my phone from like 3 a.m. one night when I'm like laying in bed about to go to sleep and I just have this song idea and I just sing into my phone. I sing around my house so much. Like I sing in the shower, I sing before I go to bed. Sometimes I'll be sitting at my desk and I'll just sing, but I won't sing songs. I'll just sing random lyrics and then I end up creating like a little melody that I like. But obviously I'm not that great at singing. So I also think being able to sing would be beneficial for me. But at the same time, I think it's also a thing of if I could sing, would I want to sing on my own songs?
I hate listening to my own voice. So
yeah, see, that wouldn't be beneficial for you then.
Yeah, I hate hearing them.
I don't necessarily love hearing my own voice, but it's like I've edited my YouTube videos for years, so I'm just used to it at this point.
You're used to it. Every time I hear my voice on anything, I'm just like, ugh.
One thing I do have, though, do you randomly have it where you're like, look in the mirror or something, or walk past the mirror and go, that's me. I don't feel like that's me, but that's me.
No.
No, it's just like, I'll look at myself and be like, from your point of view, it's like you're seeing everything through your eyes. So like you can put your hands in front of your face and it's like, that's you. But then when you look in a mirror, it's like you're seeing yourself in third person. You're like, this is what I look like to everyone else. I don't feel like I look like this to everyone else. That's sometimes I get that. Not a lot, because obviously, like I said, I edit my videos and stuff and I see myself a lot because of that. But there'll be the occasional time where I'll like walk past the mirror and be like, oh yeah, that's what I look like.
Oh yeah. Forgot. I always find it just weird in general that we can see, if that makes any sense.
You find it weird that we can see?
See, hear, smell. Like, we're just a little rock in space.
I mean, we're not a rock in space.
No, but we're on a rock in space.
We are on a rock in
Just
space.
a little rock.
Okay, right, changing the subject, let's keep it music related. This one I'm interested to talk about, okay, because I know my opinions on it. My opinions are a little bit all over the place. But to put it simply, what's your opinion on the radio?
Well, I mean, I don't drive, so I never listen to the... You know, there was one point where I used to listen to the radio all the time.
Really?
And that was in secondary school. And in IT, me and one of my best mates, we used to sit next to each other. And we used to go on the Ministry of Sound radio. We used to just sit there listening to all the music and be like, oh yeah, this one's sick. And it was like, this song is really, really shit. I don't listen to the radio enough.
You don't so you don't listen to it enough to have opinion on it, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I listened to like 10 minutes the other day, and they were in a bathroom recreating an album art. They were in the toilets or whatever, and it was a weird experience, that I must say.
Wait, but that was on the radio?
Yeah, they were in the toilet. I'm surprised they got like microphones and everything in there, and they were recreating an album artwork, and it was like, move your hand a little bit, move your hand a little bit. I was there like, wait, what am I listening to? This is on the radio.
What radio station was that?
I don't know. It must have been a popular one, and they played a game called Win the Golden Muff.
What? Okay, right. I feel like that's probably like Radio 1 or something. I think they do like game show stuff.
It probably was, but what a weird thing to put on the radio.
That's a bit strange. What I meant was more like song-wise.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I mean, every song on the radio is really, really shit just because it gets overplayed a lot.
Yeah, that's basically my opinion on it. I think the radio is a good thing because I was listening to my tutor the other day. I know, right? Imagine me listening. And he was saying that apparently he had some friend or something who was in an earthquake, and this earthquake, he was driving, and then all of a sudden the ground started shaking. He was really confused, and then in front of him chimneys started falling from the house, this was like down some road, but the radio cut out. And he said the scariest thing about all of it was the radio cutting out, because it felt so surreal and like weird that everything just went silent. And it's also because in films, when anything bad happens, like especially like disaster films and stuff, the radio goes. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then he was saying like everyone would panic if all of a sudden the radio just stopped. And it got me thinking, like, I mean, it's probably true, to be honest. Like, a lot of people listen to the radio. I mean, I'm not one of them. I don't really listen to the radio at all. I know a lot of people listen to it. Like my mum, for example, listens to it on the way to and from work, and then when she gets to work, she works in an office and they have the radio on there all day. It's like if all of a sudden it just stopped, it would be like a bit surreal. Like what's happened? Why is this stopped? You know? I feel like
you would see people run down the road going, "Oh, it's the end of the world. The radio's gone."
Apparently, there is actually a thing. I also learned this from that culture lesson. Apparently, there's a thing where if there's, I think it was 6 seconds. If there's 6 seconds of silence on a radio station, it automatically just plays music. Because if there's too much silence, people will start to panic.
I guess that would make sense though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a little fun fact for you. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I got told, so hey.
Do you want to know another fun fact?
Yes.
The Earth is in the key of C#.
The more you know. Anyway, radio. So my opinion on it, I think the radio, it can be good. It can be good in the sense of like I know there's a lot of like BBC introducing stuff where they play like new artists or upcoming artists. I think those things are sick. It's a great spotlight for some smaller artists or artists that deserve more attention. But I think when it's like, okay, Ed Sheeran's released a song, that's it. It's going to be played every day on the radio, like 2 times an hour at least, every hour for the next 3 months until he releases another one. Especially Ed Sheeran, like as a good example, it's like if Ed Sheeran's releasing a song, it's on the radio, simple as. Because of not only who he is, but because it's also that style of music. It's like everyone likes Ed Sheeran, so they're like, hey, we're going to play it all the time. And apparently, the radio's excuse for playing songs all the time, like how they repeat songs a lot, is because people go in and out of listening to the radio. So, like I said, my mum drives to work, for example. That time of like 15 minutes or whatever driving to work, she might hear an Ed Sheeran song once. But then someone else, I don't know, 10 minutes later after my mum's got out of the car, might not have heard that and they just got in their car. So then the radio is like constantly playing the stuff because people are going in and out of listening to the radio, if that makes sense.
I swear after like a certain amount of time, the songs just start to loop around.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Like
sure they do. They must do,
after
surely.
like an hour or something, then it just like, they got like a playlist set up. So
I think especially Radio 1, they seem to have like maybe 20 songs at most. They don't tend to do a lot of like, let's play a song from 2010 randomly.
I'm pretty sure some people request songs.
Yeah, I know. I don't know whether Radio 1 does it, but I know that...
I think Radio 1 just gets like licenses to play the songs on radio.
Yeah. I mean, from an artist point of view, I would love to get on a radio. Like, don't get me wrong. It would not for the money as well. I'm not saying it for the money, but it would be such a mad thing to be like, my song is playing on a radio station. Right, okay. Change the subject again, but obviously keeping it music related because this is the Not So Pro-ducer Podcast. Right, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, this doesn't have to be musically, or it can be musically. It's up to you.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone 5 years.
Well, I guess it's more, what do you want to be doing in 5 years?
Become a millionaire.
you wanna become a millionaire in 5 years?
Oh yeah, who wouldn't?
I mean, yeah, true. Of course. Actually, I have a lottery ticket right here that I haven't checked yet, so I'm going to do this.
Can I get the lottery numbers up for you?
You can. That's a fun way of doing it, but I have a little story to tell about these lottery numbers, okay? So last night, my mum and my stepdad ordered a takeaway, and I can't remember whether it's Chinese. I think it was Chinese. Either way, they got fortune cookies, and there was 2 of them, and my mum gave them to me because she knows that I like to open the fortunes, and I don't know, I don't necessarily believe in it, but it's always interesting to see what it says. Anyway, opened the first one. There wasn't even a fortune in it. So that was sick. Opened the second one because there weren't a fortune in the first one. And I can't remember what it said, but I have a photo of it on my phone, so let me get it up. So the quote that was on it said, "The limit to your abilities is where you place it," which I didn't quite understand. Anyway, one thing that I've never seen on a lottery before is lucky numbers. So what I decided to do was today, I went to Tesco when I went shopping, and I was like, right, I'm buying a lottery ticket with those numbers on it. So I bought a lottery ticket with those numbers on it, and now we're going to see whether I've won the lottery. Which would be bad if this is like on the podcast. I'm just like a millionaire now. Read them out one by one, and I'll say yes or no.
Number 4.
No. That's a good start.
Number 13.
Yes.
Number 21.
No.
Number 27.
No.
Number 28.
No.
Number 37.
No.
And the star ball, or whatever it is they call it, 19.
Okay, well, that was a load of shit.
Okay, cool.
I'm not a millionaire, sorry. That would have been really cool to be on the podcast. So imagine if I won the lottery while recording a podcast.
Imagine.
I think every time I record this podcast, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Anyway, for anyone curious, my numbers were 2, 9, 12, 13, 43, and 51. That was the numbers that the fortune cookie gave me.
If you ever want higher odds of winning a lottery, you have to use the same numbers every single time.
I've heard a few people have won the lottery by doing that. I think I saw it on some news article a little while ago. Someone who buys tickets every week with the same numbers decided, I'm not going to do it this week. And then those exact numbers came up on the week that they didn't buy it. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, imagine how pissed off you'd be. And it was like a rollover as well. So it was like a lot of money.
You know, if you won that today, you would have won 7.2 million.
Oh, don't, bro. I've got like 2p in my bank account. That would have been so nice. Right, okay, this one's a funny one. What is an artist that you just can't stand to listen to? Like, you just don't like them? Don't say Insko, I swear to God.
An artist that I really, really don't like.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. You know when you get these people that rap, do like emotional rap stuff?
Right, yeah.
I hate them.
Really?
Really don't like them.
I feel like with rappers and singers, if you don't like their voice, you ain't gonna like a song by them, like any song by them.
That is true.
I've had people send me songs before, and they'd be like, "Oh, I like the song or whatever." I'd just be like, "No, I don't like it because I don't like their voice." So it just means any song by them, I'm just not gonna like. It's mostly rappers rather than singers. I mean, it's occasionally singers that I don't like. I'm not really a fan of American rappers, kind of like American rappers who are like really strongly American, and I feel like they all sound the same. You do have good American rappers, like I like Jonah Lucas and G-Eazy and Logic, and I can't think of any other rappers, but there's some that I used to listen to. I don't really listen to them as much now. I like their voices, but it's just, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. There's like the very typical American rapper, that kind of voice, I'm not a fan.
Who's your favourite rapper?
I don't really know.
Dead or alive? Because I mean, my favourite's dead.
Who's your favourite?
XXX Tentacion.
Yeah, X was good. I mean, to be fair, if I'm being completely honest, only really listened to him after he passed away.
Really?
Because I didn't really hear of him before that.
I guess you just saw on the news or something. I just smacked my microphone. I guess you saw on the news that X died or whatever, and you're probably like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, I think that pretty much was it. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to check him out. And then I listened to... No, okay, telling a lie, I listened to Sad before.
Yeah, I think Sad was like one of the popular ones.
Yeah. But then I think I only really like, even now, I think I only like maybe 5 songs by him. I'm not like a huge fan.
Moonlight? Do you like Moonlight?
Moonlight, yeah, Moonlight's a banger.
Jocelyn Flores? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Is that the one that's like got...
I think it's about someone that you went to school with who committed suicide, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a girl.
There's one of them that I think's got some singing on it, and it's sampled from like an Instagram video or something. Is it that one? I don't know. I remember Luke told me it before.
I don't know. All I know on this one is it's got a little intro in it. It's like, I know you so.
Yeah, it's that one. That's sampled from
right,
some Instagram video, apparently. I don't know how true that is. Yeah, I don't really know who my favorite rapper is. I mean, I used to listen to a lot of Logic, but then I didn't necessarily like his more hip-hop stuff, and he'd done a lot of that. Like, his album, I can't remember what it's called, but I know what the cover art looks like. I'm going to have to look it up now because it's going to bother me. I think it's called, like, The Incredible True Story or something like that. I don't know.
I might be horrible in saying this, but I just think everyone's new songs are not as good as their old songs.
I understand that. Yeah, I see that.
The old songs are just way better.
I know you're saying that more about Swedish House Mafia, by the way.
You know, I wasn't actually thinking about that. I was more thinking about Logic.
Oh, yeah. Logic, like, he released the Bobby Tarantino Free album. Wasn't really a fan. Listened to his No Pressure album. Wasn't really a fan. Under Pressure, Incredible True Story, Bobby Tarantino, Everybody, and Bobby Tarantino 2 are good albums. There's songs on those albums that I like. I'm just, like, naming album titles and no one has an idea what I'm going on about, but hey. I actually really feel like listening to Logic now, so I'm going to go do that after this podcast.
I'm playing X in the background.
Right, okay, final subject for the podcast. This is the last one that I've got written down. I thought it's quite a fun little thing to talk about because for us it happened recently, but obviously the podcast is coming out in a couple of months, so for them it wouldn't have happened recently. But DJ Mag Top 100, what are you saying? What's your opinions on it? Do you think it's fake? Do you think it's stupid? Do you think it's good?
I generally do think it's fake thinking about it.
What do you think's fake about it?
I reckon they just pay them.
Who pays who?
Like, David Guetta will be like, hey, look, if I give you some money, will you make me higher on the list or something? Or if I just give you a load of money, give me number one.
I mean, it's a cool idea because it's like, okay, you're giving these artists, I guess, awards for being good, right? Because it's voted by the public, supposedly voted by the public.
Yeah, but then you can have bots, can't you, that just do it?
Yeah, I think there was some big controversial thing about bots that I read about a couple of years ago, but I don't know whether it's real or not or whatever. I think the whole idea of it is if you're number one on DJ Mag Top 100 or maybe top 10 or whatever, it just looks good for the artist. Yeah. It'll mean that artist can get booked at better clubs, better festivals, things like that, like maybe go from playing a smaller stage at a festival to the main stage, things like that, just because it's like the festival can be like, we have the number one artist in the world playing here. Come buy our festival tickets.
But then everyone, they've already been to all these big festivals and they're getting voted like number one, top 10.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Again.
But it's like, if all of a sudden, say like David Guetta, because he's number one now, say next year he's 50. For whatever reason, he's voted number 50. I doubt there will be many festivals who will be like, hey, come play. Oh, I mean, maybe because he's popular, but like...
Exactly, that's what I mean.
I don't know.
If he releases another song in, say, like 5 years' time when he's not even in the top 100, he's still going to be able to go on like the main stage of Tomorrowland just because of his
I don't know about that though. What if all of a sudden people just, over those 5 years, like you said, he's not even on the top 100, so that means people aren't voting for him, I guess. Like I said, the whole thing is meant to be people voting, but there's controversial things with bots and stuff. But say that nobody did vote for him, or very few people voted for him, and he didn't get in that top 100, would he play main stage? Because surely that indicates that not many people are listening to his music. Therefore, the festivals would be like, why are we going to put you on the main stage if you're not interesting, or people are not wanting to listen to your music? You know what I mean? Like, yes, he might have been a well-known artist. If he's not anymore, then why are they going to take up that slot when they could have it with someone that is popular?
It's a debate for everyone to have, I think.
It is a debate. We would like to know what you think about the DJ Mag Top 100, whether you think it's real, whether you think it's pointless, whether you think it's necessary. If this is being posted to YouTube, which I think it is, leave a comment down below, let us know what you think. And we're posting this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. What's Apple's version of this? Apple Podcasts? Is that a thing?
I think it is Apple Podcasts. I don't know.
Well, anyway, that's the end of this first episode of the Not So Pro-ducer Podcast. Thank you, Ant, for coming on. I hope you did enjoy your stay here.
My stay, this is not a hotel, but I did enjoy myself.
It was nice to just kind of sit down and chat, and that's the whole idea of these podcasts, is to get an underrated musician, whether they be a music producer, singer, songwriter, whatever, just come on, have a chat, ask some questions, so it's like I get to know them more, but also the audience gets to know them more. And that's just what the Not So Pro-ducer Podcast is going to be about. And the schedule for this, by the way, is we're posting it every other Wednesday. So it'll be the first and third Wednesday of every month. If a month has 3 weeks, there'll still only be 2 episodes, which will be the first and third Wednesday. But we got a lot of people coming up. We got music producers, singers, even like music technicians and stuff. So it'll be really interesting to sit down and talk to all of those. But if you did enjoy the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for episode 2. Have a nice time. Bye.
The Not So Pro-ducer Podcast.